Hello everyone and welcome to the Velvet Lounge. Today we're doing a gardening edition. We're continuing that series of tips and tricks that we have for gardening. This is just part of our yard. It kind of looks like a golf course, which we had to design that way on purpose. That's our stone wall. As I told you, we have a lot of woods, and so we have deer. You can also find moose in our town, bears, flocks of turkeys, like literally 30, 40 turkeys living in a flock. Wait a minute, there's Al. Say hi, Al. Fisher cats. Al has been out here doing some landscaping. It's like his hobby. And he enjoys doing it. It's relaxing. He feels fulfilled after doing it. He's laughing at me right now because there are many days he does not feel that way. But sometimes he enjoys doing it, but it's not really his hobby. He does it because he needs to, and sometimes he does enjoy doing it. Here, I want to show you a couple plants that we grew from 2 sticks. This is one of them. It's actually a flowering bush. It's really, really large, and it's right off the side of the deck, and you can see it's growing through the railings. We have to chop this plant back at least once every year because this is how aggressively it grows. And what it does, which is a really cool thing that I love about it, and we didn't even know this when we first started propagating it, is that it grows these tulip or cup type flowers. And the hummingbirds love those. You'll get 3, 4, even more hummingbirds around this bush at any given time where they're just harvesting the nectar or whatever it is they're looking for in there. And so these flowers actually will grow, they die back, and then they grow again. And they keep doing that all season until it's time for it to go back to sleep or hibernate. That's a little bit of the stone wall that we have. And then another plant that grew from 1 stick is this huge pine tree. Our daughter actually grew this, and I believe she was in the 1st grade when she got a cutting, and that cutting grew so large that we actually had to transplant it outside. And this tree is now probably 15 feet tall. It's very tall. And it's right near our deck, so we do have to cut it back. We cut all this new light-colored growth that you see. We cut all of that off every season, probably twice a season. And she's always very protective of it. We're not allowed to cut the tree down. So, that's what we do to maintain it so it doesn't grow taller than the house. And then there's a couple other plants out here that we grew from, a couple of cuttings. And that's what today's episode is about again, is I showed you guys some of the progress I've had with cutting items from leftover food scraps and creating new food from it. So recycling, basically. And what I want to do is take you in the house and show you, some of what we've done as far as continuing that cycle. You can see my light there so that we have enough light in here for shooting. And what you'll see is I actually decided to experiment, which was really cool. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the other thing is, I bought some onions. I used an onion. So what I did is I cut off the bottom of that onion and I put it in water. And what I did to put it in the water is you suspend it. So what you do is you put 3 or 4 toothpicks around the edge. You sort of push them in on a slight angle, and then you just suspend your cutting over the water. And as you can see, I didn't have to peel off the onion skin. It's just, sitting there in the water. The roots, you can see those, I think, if that's clear enough, I hope. The roots are down below, and all I will do with this is if the water gets unclear. So the moment the water starts to turn color, you simply dump the water out and add new water. That's all you do. Once the onion starts to get more roots, or if you start to see green growing here at the top, which is new growth, then it's time to plant it in the dirt. And onions will grow over and over again if you just cut them, water them, and put them in decent soil. And you don't have to buy soil. All you need to do is find a little area in your yard or a well-drained pot. Put some clean dirt in it. Clean dirt just means take the sticks and the stones out of it. If the sticks are breaking down in the dirt, that's fine. Keep those in there. That's excellent compost. And what I do is in my dirt, and I'll show you what I have in this container, is I add eggshells. And what I do with my eggshells is I simply rinse them off. I put them in a Ziploc bag, crush them up, and put them in my freezer until I need them. So over the winter, you can collect a lot of eggshells. And then what you do is when you're fertilizing your beds or your plants or your gardens, is you simply sprinkle some eggshells in and mix it in with the soil before you put your seeds or your cuttings in there or your plants. Some people actually buy seedlings. I don't do that, but that's what you would do. And that actually helps add some calcium and nutrients and nitrogen to your soil naturally. The other one that I showed you guys how I took some romaine lettuce and I cut it into pieces so that I can, use the bottom, because I use the actual lettuce obviously for food for my family. But what I did with the remainder, which is the bottom stalk that most people throw away, is I actually cut it, and I did this, and I have 3 of these. I just wanted to show you one. And you guys saw the video for when I did that. So from that short time of just like a week or 2 ago, this is how much growth I've gotten. I've had to change the water 3 times. So that means I totally dumped out the water because it was turning colors. And I actually simply added clean water. And then what I also did is, because some of the stalk was discoloring around the edge, I simply just took those, bad pieces of the stalk off and threw those away. And another thing you might have to do sometimes is recut the edges, which is like no big deal. You don't have to do that, but it will help the plant grow faster. So just within I think it's been like a week and a half, this plant is almost ready for planting as soon as it grows its first roots. So I just wanted to give you an update on the lettuce. And I also wanted to show you my newest cutting, which is this onion. And what I want to do also is show you guys like this new system that I'm trying out, because normally when I grow my vegetables, like what I call my kitchen garden or my kitchen table garden, I usually, just have a huge terracotta pot that I grow everything out of. But what I'm going to do is, like I said, test out this new system that I actually purchased at a discount store. And I think the price is on here. It only cost me like $13 when you add in the tax. And this is actually made in Europe. I believe it's made in Switzerland. Oh, actually, Daisy's telling me it's made in the Netherlands. So this is made in the Netherlands, which is Europe. And what it does is it allows you to reuse this container over and over again and create a greenhouse effect. And you do that with this lid, this clear lid that's on top. It has a vent so that if you're getting too much moisture, you can open the vent or you can close the vent. And it's you can see the name, it's E-L-H-O, Elho. E-L-H-O, and you can easily remove the lid, and inside you have your little planting bed. And this is, I'm going to say maybe 3 inches deep. So it's not very deep. So this is not, something you would grow carrots out of, for example. This is for plants where they root and then the greenery or the plant matter grows above ground. So what I decided to do, as you can see, is test out turnip greens again. We love turnip greens. They're easy. They're simple to cook. I have a recipe out there in one of our videos you could check out where I talk about harvesting the greens and how I cook them. And so I took that little, and I mean, look at that, 59 cents. You can have your whole little serving of greens. And what you do is you simply put your seeds in here, in this dirt. And once again, this is dirt that I actually have eggshells in. I have some of like the stems and stalks from other plants in there that broke down and composted. And dirt. That's it. There's nothing special in there. The other thing is, when you do this, you have to make sure that you use this tray that they give you with a kit because that catches your water. And I don't know if you could see it below, but there are some holes so that there's drainage, because drainage is very important for plants. And if you're planting in a planter that does not have drainage holes, what you have to do is put some loose, tiny gravel stone at the bottom of your planter before you put in any other dirt or plant matter or eggshells or anything else. Like the loose stone has to be first. And in this case, what we have is, this whole system, it literally took me like 5 minutes to do this, maybe even 10 if I'm exaggerating. Is I actually made 5 little tunnels going from left to right, and I only did it a 1/4 inch deep because that's all you need for turnip green seeds. I read the packet, and I put the seed in there, I covered it, and I watered it. And this is easy to water if you have like one of those spray nozzles as part of your kitchen plumbing system. You can just use that to water it, but what I would do is test the spray out before you start spraying your plant because you don't want to get dirt everywhere. Or you could just get a little, watering jug that has a little holes in the end, because you can't just dump water on this. That's something I learned. Otherwise, it just puddles and pools. So we're going to see how this grows. Oh, the other cool thing about this kit is it comes with stakes. So on these stakes, you can actually use an erasable marker and, note what you're growing. What I did is I simply took my turnip seed package and I cut it and I just draped it over over the little stake thing. Oh, and there's a little sign, the Velvet Lounge. So that's pretty much it for today as far as an update on our gardening escapades, but I'm going to give you guys an update on this even during other videos that we make on occasion so that you can see what progress that is being made. I will cover this back up with its little greenhouse cover and, let this germinate hopefully for just a couple of weeks, maybe not even that long, because I've never used this before, so I'm not sure how long it'll take. And what it'll do is sit right here on our kitchen table. That's what we do, is just put our plants right in the center of the table. It's a large table, so there's still plenty of room to eat, but at least while we're eating and talking and being a family, we also know where our food is coming from, some of it anyway. And we can, look at the progress. So I think that's kind of satisfying. So that's it today for the Velvet Lounge. I would love it if you guys could please share this video. And also, if you guys know of anyone that is into, doing their own indoor home gardening, whether it's because they live in a small space or an apartment and they don't have anywhere to plant, or they live where I live, where it's like wooded and everything else, but you're fighting with rabbits and deer and all sorts of animals, and I don't want the fencing all over my yard, then, please let us know. We'd love to follow them and, see what they do and compare notes and maybe get in contact with some folks. And we can share cuttings. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Please, once again, share us, subscribe to our channel, please, and leave your comments below. Thank you.